Hello and welcome. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing from wounds to wisdom, unveiling the connection between childhood trauma and spiritual awakening. Let's get into it. So, yeah, for those of us who have experienced a lot in life, it can feel like what is the point of all of this? And what I have found on my journey is the bigger the holes that you've climbed out of, the bigger your purpose. So, this is the opportunity to take all of that stuff that you have walked through, that you've survived, that you've lived, and you think, hmm, what can I do with this? How do I make a difference in the world with this? Because I'm telling you that everything you have walked through was strengthening you, although it often feels like it's breaking you, but it really has strengthened you for a bigger role in your life. Now, I'm talking specifically about childhood trauma, but this could be just about anything. And for those of us that experience childhood trauma, it didn't just stop there, right? We may have went from that into abusive relationships. We may have went from that into some sort of chronic health condition that created some sort of disease that we walked through. We may have endured, I mean, there are people who have endured so many different kinds of things. People who have been struck by lightning, people who have been in horrific car accidents. All these kinds of things start to, from a high level view, if you were up on a mountaintop looking down at your life, seeing that all of these things that you went through were actually connected to your bigger purpose. And every one of us has a unique story. Every one of us has a unique journey. And every one of us has something unique to put out into the world. And what is that for you? Like, what have you gone through that you could teach someone else? You could teach someone else the steps of how you went from that to this, whatever this is. Now, on my own journey, I have walked through a lot. There's been a whole lot of things. And so I take the wisdom that I have gained through all of that, along with the spiritual downloads I received with my spiritual awakening, and turn that into the practice I have now, which actually helps other people get to the other side. The people that tend to work with me have done what feels like all the things, like they've done counseling, traditional counseling. They may have tried self help. They may have even tried some holistic modalities. It's not from lack of working on it. And then sometimes it gets this point of feeling like, is there anything else? Like, how do I get to the other side of this? Like, I'm so sick of carrying this around. How do I just get to the other side of it? Because it keeps showing up in everything in our life. Well, one of the secrets I have found is it's often not the big T traumas that are keeping us from moving forward. It's often the little T traumas, these little bitty things. And sometimes they didn't feel like traumas at all, but they're the one thing that keeps us stuck. I like to see those as like fragments or splinters off of the big traumas. So there were big traumas and then little splinters that happened that created these places for us to get stuck. So, what I'm suggesting is that everything that you have walked through was preparing you for the bigger purpose in your life. And that is going to be very unique to you. So, one of the things I would recommend doing is just start to write down all the things that you have survive. Now, I don't mean details that are traumatizing. What I mean is maybe there's a big headline, like example, um, physical abuse, um, verbal abuse, car accident, cancer, whatever, like big header topics. Start to think about things that you have made it through. Maybe it's I had gangrene in my intestines. Okay, so that's another thing. I had gastric bypass at one point. I've had lots of failed relationships. I have had weight roller coasters, so there's lots of those kinds of things. So start to think about these things for you. Like, what have you walked through? And what is the bigger purpose of that? Now, if you don't know what the bigger purpose is, or you can't figure out how to put the pieces together, or you can't quite figure out how to even get past some of these obstacles, that's where someone like me comes in to help. I am a spiritual coach, a transformational coach. I'm a lot of different things with a lot of modalities, but in this instance, I am your holistic alchemist, Tammy Coin. And what I do is I help you, you know, change pain into possibilities and possibilities into purpose. Because with our conversations, we start to figure out where you are, where are you stuck, what is the pain that you're going through, and is there some place you'd rather be? Is there a dream place over here that you would like to be? Is there a big goal that you would like? Maybe it's like, I can't think about that yet. I just need to get past this. Okay, then we start there. So that is how you begin to connect the pieces. And part of my work is helping you see how those pieces are connected, how to get to the other side of them, and then how to create this bigger purpose life that you've been yearning for. I have gone through all of those things to get to the point where I am now, to be able to help other people with what I have walked through. And really, that's how it goes. You may say, well, I don't know that I can help anybody with what I've been through. Well, there's something there, and there may be, maybe being a coach or being an entrepreneur is not on your radar. Maybe that's not something you're interested in doing, but maybe there's something else. I had a client at one point who sort of had a pipe dream, if you will, of writing a children's book. And we weren't specifically working on her writing a children's book, but with the things that we did work on, she was able to get to the point where she did write the children's book. She published it, and it was a really big thing. And that was one of those far off dreams that she just really didn't know was ever going to happen. Another client, never ever saw herself being a medium or an intuitive card reader, which is now what she's doing. So you never know what's going to open up when we clear the field of what's been keeping you stuck. So, your holistic alchemist, this is Tammy Coin. I have a link in the description and all over the channel of how to schedule a free holistic consultation with me. We spend about an hour together, talking about what you've got going on, what I can do if we're a great fit, and let's get you moving. And if you like these videos and this content, please do like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.